Alright, KDramaVerse fam, settle in because this one is a roller coaster. Welcome back to KDramaVerse, where we spill the gist fresh and unfiltered. And today's story might just flip everything you thought you knew about Jang Ki-yong and Eun-jin upside down. From the outside, they looked like one of those rare on-screen couples that accidentally wandered off the set and into real life. The kind that makes fans whisper, "Wait, are they actually dating?" The kind that gives off married couple energy without ever confirming a thing. Smiles, quiet support, stolen glances, and that calm, lived-in chemistry that doesn't scream, it settles. For a long time, many fans were convinced if there was ever a happiest couple born from K-drama chemistry, it had to be Jang Ki-yong and Eun-jin. But then, the mood shifted, and suddenly people started asking uncomfortable questions. Were they ever really that happy? Was it all just a perfectly sold illusion? And what if the closeness everyone adored was never about romance at all, but something far more complicated, even painful? Let's rewind, slowly. When Jang Ki-yong and Eun-jin first appeared together, it wasn't explosive in a flashy way. It was quiet, natural, almost domestic. They didn't try to outshine each other. Instead, they matched each other's rhythm. Ki-yong with his calm, slightly reserved presence, Eun-jin with her grounded warmth and emotional depth. Together they felt safe, and fans picked up on that immediately. Comment sections filled with things like, "Why do they look like they've known each other for years, and this doesn't feel like acting?" Even off camera, their interactions were gentle. No overdoing it, no forced fan service. Just small, telling moments. Ki-yong listening more than he spoke, Eun-jin naturally taking care of the space around them. Marathon husband, mom mode wife, as fans jokingly called it. And honestly, it fit a little too well. So when people started calling them the happiest couple ever, it didn't feel exaggerated. It felt earned. But here's where things get interesting. As time passed, fans noticed subtle changes. Not scandals, not dramatic fallouts, just distance. Interviews that once felt warm began to feel carefully neutral. The easy laughter became polite smiles. Their schedules drifted further apart. And suddenly, the married couple energy started to look more like two people walking parallel lives, rather than intertwined ones. Some fans brushed it off. They're busy. They're professionals. Not everything has to mean something. But K-drama fans are nothing if not observant. And the comment sections slowly shifted from hard eyes to question marks. Then came the whispers. What if they were never happy in the way fans imagined? What if what we saw wasn't romance, but survival? This is where the backless idea starts to make sense. Because sometimes what looks like happiness is actually restraint. Two people leaning on each other not because they're in love, but because they're both carrying heavy loads and happen to understand the weight the other is bearing. Jang Ki-yong, known for his intense roles and long physical preparations, has often been described as someone who throws himself fully into work. Eun-jin, on the other hand, has spoken openly about emotional exhaustion, about giving too much of herself to every character she plays. Put two people like that together, and what you get might not be joy, but mutual endurance. Think about it. Have you ever looked fine on the outside while barely holding it together inside? Have you ever leaned on someone not because you were happy, but because they made things less heavy? Fans started rewatching old clips with new eyes. That soft silence between them? Maybe not comfort, maybe fatigue. Those gentle smiles? Maybe not romance, maybe professionalism wrapped in kindness. The way Eun-jin often seemed to ground Ki-yong? Maybe she wasn't playing wife, maybe she was just being human. And suddenly, the narrative cracked. What if the happiness was never overflowing, but carefully rationed? What if they weren't the happiest couple, but two tired people doing their best not to break? This doesn't mean there was anything fake about them. In fact, it might mean the opposite. It might mean what we saw was too real to be romanticized. Real connections are messy. They don't always glow. Sometimes they're quiet, heavy, and temporary. There's also the uncomfortable truth fans don't like to admit. We often project what we want to see. We want our favorite on-screen couples to be happy because it reassures us, because it makes the story feel complete. Because if they're happy, then maybe love like that exists somewhere outside the screen too. But real life doesn't owe us a fairy tale ending. As the months went by, neither Ki-yong nor Eun-jin fed into the rumors. No clarifications, no denial, no nostalgia posts, just forward motion. New projects, new co-stars, new chapters. And that silence? It spoke louder than any confirmation ever could. Some fans felt betrayed. Others felt embarrassed for assuming too much. And a few, the quiet ones, felt a strange sense of understanding. Because maybe they were never meant to be the happiest couple ever. Maybe they were just two people who met at the right time to help each other through something difficult, and then let go when it was time. And isn't that its own kind of beauty? So now I want to hear from you, KDramaVerse fan. When you look back at Jang Ki-yong and Eun-jin, do you still see happiness? Or do you see two professionals carrying invisible weight with grace? Do you think fans read too much into their bond, or not enough? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this story doesn't have one clear truth. It has layers, and like most real connections, it refuses to fit neatly into a box labeled happily ever after. If you stayed till this point, you're a real one. And if you want me to continue this deep dive, exploring fan reactions, hidden moments, and why less sometimes feels heavier than nothing at all, just say the word. Until next time, this is KDramaVerse, where nothing is ever as simple as it looks.